16 after 7, an accident with the left lane blocked eastbound I-80 at Raleigh Boulevard. Also, eastbound 50 slows starting at the I-5 connector all the way through the downtown and up to about 65th Street. And for all those who hate on Chicago, there are many, because they're only familiar with the 1980s hits, this, my friends, is Chicago. That other stuff, I don't know what it was. All right, it's time to go to Dan in Sonoma. How's it going? Are you surviving the weather and the rain and the wind and the whatever?
Not really. Our power is out, so I'm obviously on my cell phone, so I apologize for the audio.
Hang your head in shame.
Won't be the first time.
It sounds fine.
So I got to set up my power generator and all that. That'll take me the whole morning. Speaking of Chicago, it's Monday, so let's do the Chicago shooting report. 10 shot, 2 dead. Now, the numbers do seem to be lower. And you had made a observation about a year or so ago that you think a lot of these things are not necessarily staged, but there's a coordination with it. I mean, we know George Soros is behind a lot of this sort of thing.
We know the left wants chaos, and they don't care who dies. They do not care.
No, they don't. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. But I'm wondering, though, if they're sort of toning it down to make it look like Democrat policies are working. They're clearly not working. But, again, there's more behind this than just these lower numbers. So
such a negative attitude.
Speaking of, well, that's me. That's me. Speaking of negative, Gallagher's wrong about
everything.
Thing about not talking. Well, pretty much everything, but especially the thing about 2020. Look, I don't want to get into details about it, but I've said for some time now, you have to have a response. And the response is very simple without getting into any details for anyone like Stephanopoulos or anybody else that wants to bring it up. You guys still believe in Russian collusion from 2016? So that's all you have to say. And you don't need to get stuck into the weeds because that's what they want you to do. The media wants Republicans to stumble over the details and all the rest of it. You just say, you throw it right back at them. So but again, you can't just say, I don't want to talk about it. The easy and proper response is what I just said. Russian collusion, 2016, you guys lied, and you're still lying about it.
That is absolutely correct. Throw it right back at them. Do not cower in the corner like most congressmen do.
Oh, God. The weakness of the Republicans, especially the Senate. I was thinking over the weekend because there was a response, if you want to call it that, from the administration regarding those 3 people that were the servicemen that were killed. As you could probably guess, I don't trust anything this administration does. We don't know the details of this response. The media is going to prop it up as if Biden is strong and decisive. For all we know,
good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for all we know, he bombed a couple of aspirin factories, just like Clinton did back in the day, trying to make himself look strong with foreign policy.
That'll show him.
But this whole thing seems to be, yet another piece of the puzzle that seems to have continues to be unraveled, starting all the way back when Obama was in the White House, when he destabilized many areas of the Middle East, and he did so because he wanted to empower radical Islam, which is happening. He went to, he got rid of Gaddafi from Libya. He wanted to get rid of Assad from Syria, but that was too big of a piece to chew off. But it looks like they're right back at it again. And as soon as Biden gets back in, what's the first thing he does? He gets out of Afghanistan. That becomes a hellhole. And now his actions in the Middle East, the Middle East looks, the radical Islamic element of the Middle East looks far more powerful. So again, this all leads to Iran. And again, I'm certainly that Iran has nuclear capabilities right now. How that's going to be unfolded, whether they actually use them or they just say, like North Korea, we have them, and then they establish themselves to be the big dog in the Middle East. Who knows what's going to happen?
We don't know the details, Dan, but we know it's not going to be anything good.
No, there's nothing good whatsoever. Everyone's too focused on the Niner game this weekend.
Is there a game this weekend?
That's what everyone else is telling me. I'm not going to watch it.
I miss everything.
Well, trust me, you're missing nothing. You want to see it? Press the record button.
I will only watch it if my wife says, hey, you know what? We should watch the Super Bowl.
My wife's not going to say that.
I don't think she will. We did a few years ago. That happened, actually. That there's documentation that actually happened. And I said, okay, babe, yeah, we watched the game. We didn't watch the whole thing, but it was kind of cool. Anyhow.
There's documentation? I got to find this documentation.
Well, they're classified docs, so I'm sorry.
Of course they are.
I can't turn them over.
All right, but talk to you tomorrow.
You take care, Dan. It is 7:22. Continued showers this morning, partly cloudy this afternoon, and a high of 59. 22 after 7.